Welcome back to another video. Today, guys, I'm showing you guys exactly, what kind of steps I go through whilst team building in my draft league. Basically, I analyze the opponent's team, study it, take their strengths and their weaknesses, and build a team from that. So basically, here's looking at this week. This week, I'm going up against AJ, coach of the Scottsbluff Salamence. I have his team pulled up on screen right now. Mega Gyarados, Salamence, Latios, Gliscor, I don't know why I said that so weird. Nidoqueen, Jolteon, Decidueye, Miltank, Blaziken, and Frostlass with the Poisonium Z. Now, right off the bat, he has the Poisonium Z, so obviously either Gliscor or Nidoqueen is going to have that. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Nidoqueen, but honestly, I could see him bringing either or. And so I know for a fact one of those two are coming. Next up, I'm gonna pull up my team real fast, and I just basically, okay, what Pokemon does he have that destroys my main Pokemon? So Mega Gyarados takes out Tyranitar a good chunk of the time, with Waterfall or whatever. His dragons, I have Mamoswine, I have Steel, I'm not too worried about them, but you don't mess around with dragons. They're nothing to be, nothing to not prepare for. He's got two solid poison types. Also ground, ground type stab. It's pretty good. He has Jolteon for my Blastoise, but I'm not too worried about Jolteon because I've got Tyranitar, I've got, Mamoswine, I've got Bronzong. I'm not honestly too worried. I honestly don't even think he's going to be bringing Jolteon. Miltank, though, Miltank is super beefy. He's usually running it with milk drink, so it's like pretty, it's regenerative or whatever. I don't really have a huge grass type, so I'm not too worried about Sap Sipper. He's probably going to be, just a big bulky nuisance, so I'm probably specifically just going to be bringing my sock for him to just square punch that cow right in the titties. Just regular Blaziken. I see him bringing, Blastoise is a pretty good matchup, but he can take out my Steel types pretty well. But that's the main reason why I'm going to bring the Bronzong that I'm going to be bringing. So judging his team on, also there's Frostlass. I don't honestly think he's going to bring Frostlass against me. If he does, I can easily handle it. I'm not too worried about Frostlass. So taking a step back, just looking at this team, what 6 do I bring based on this? Well, the 6 I'm going to be bringing is Blastoise, because Blastoise gets Ice Beam, it gets Aura Sphere, so it's good versus Miltank, it's good versus his Frostlass, it's good versus his Nidoqueen, it's great versus his Dragons. Next up, I'm going to be bringing Tyranitar. Tyranitar is my main Pokemon. I'm bringing him every single week. He's really weak against Gyarados, so I'm going to have to watch out for Gyarados. I can take on the Dragons, can probably take on his poison types. Miltank, I'm not too worried about. Blaziken, I'm not worried about at all. Unless he fires off a high jump kick that he's like Swords Dance. I'm not sure if Blaziken gets Swords Dance, actually. But, he could get powered up and then fire off a huge high jump kick. That I'm nervous about. I got to watch out for. Next up, I'm bringing Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash is great for his Gyarados. Great for his Nidoqueen. Pretty good against his Miltank and great against his Blaziken. Next up, I'm definitely bringing Mamoswine. Dragon Hunter, obviously he has 2 different dragons. One of them is he usually brings Latios. He almost always has Latios. I'm leaning towards a little bit more Latios, but I could see him bringing both, honestly. So I'm bringing Dragon Hunter. Great Earthquake stab against Nidoqueen. Great Earthquake stab against Blaziken. Can handle Miltank, I believe. Yeah, next up I got Sock. Sock's great against his Mega Gyarados whenever he evolves it, and AJ typically just straight up away evolves it. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and hit him super effective with a fighting type move. Not too good on his dragons, but I'm going to put Ice Punch on there just in case, Gliscor, Nidoqueen, I'm not going to, mostly for his Miltank. Sock is mostly for his Miltank, I'm just going to fire off a huge close combat. I definitely outspeed. I'm going to Choice Scarf him anyways, just in case. To outspeed, his dragons, definitely his Mega Gyarados, just to ensure the outspeed. Sock is pretty good against Blaziken. I could definitely come revenge kill it. with Sock, definitely. And last, I'm bringing Bronzong. Bronzong can easily set up on Mega Gyarados. It can easily handle and set up his dragons. The only thing I'm really too worried about is this Blaziken, but I'm going to give him Heat Proof. So, I mean, it's not going to take too much damage, but mostly I'm just going to try to set up a Calm Mind or 2 or 3 in Substitute and just try to go from there. So next up, we're going to hop into Pokemon Showdown, and I've already pulled up the 6 Pokemon that I'm planning on bringing anyway. Definitely Aura Sphere. I love Aura Sphere. Ice Beam for his dragons, like I said. And one problem with Blastoise that I noticed is he doesn't have any recovery, so I like putting Rest on there. And I tried Sleep Talk, but honestly, it's just... I don't know, it's just not good, in my opinion. I don't really know a third move. I'm going to have to figure that out off camera and play with that a little bit. His EVs, I'm going to go max HP, and I'm going to go max physical defense. And I'm going to put the last 4 in special attack. And I'm going to be giving him a modest nature. Basically, he just hits like a truck, can really tank all of his hits. I'm giving him defensive EVs because I'm going to be able to comfortably send out Mega Blastoise versus his Blaziken. So that's why I'm defensive, because Blaziken's usually offensive or physically offensive. Next up, I've got Tyranitar. Tyranitar, not always, but I'm giving him the Rocky MZ. My typical Tyranitar, Dragon Dance, Crunch for his Latios, Stone Edge for powerful Rock MZ, and then I'm going to usually do Low Kick, but honestly, what could the 4th move, Low Kick, would work for his Miltank. I could do Ice Punch. I'm going to do Ice Punch for his Dragons, actually, specifically. Alright, his EVs. I'm going to go ahead with a Jolly Nature. I want him to be pretty fast. Oops, that's lax. I'm going to go with Jolly Nature, if I can click it. I'm going to go about 100 in HP, just to give him some bulk. I'm going to give him max attack, and then max speed. I love Shiny Tyranitar, and I'm going to name them and do the shininess later, but yeah. Next up, I've got Bronzong. Bronzong, you guys, like I said, he's my, setup Pokemon, so I usually give him leftovers. I'm going to do Protect, Calm Mind, Substitute, and Psychic. This set is really fun. Basically, you just sit there and be a wall and just set up and set up and set up right in front of their face and then just proceed to sweep. That's the plan. I'm going to go about halfway on the defenses for both. And because he has a lot of physical Pokemon, I'm going to go ahead and make him physically defensive. And I'm just going to minus my attack because, I'm not using my attack, so I don't really care about that. So I'm just going to go ahead with the Bold Nature. Next up, I've got Sock. Now, I always just scarf my Sock. Sturdy, always sturdy. Close combat is usually my go-to move. I'm going to throw Ice Punch on there for his Dragons. I'm going to throw Thunder Punch on there for his Gyarados if it's in normal form. If I can catch him in normal form, awesome. If he Mega Evolves, then Close Combat would be a better option. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be hitting Close Combat, but just in case for a little bit of coverage, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And for his last move, I'm going to do Knock Off. Just in case. Just for a little bit of utility right there. I'm going to go Max Attack and Max Speed. Which, honestly, he doesn't have too fast a Pokemon. His fastest Pokemon is Jolteon. I'm not really expecting Jolteon. I'd like to outspeed his Dragons, definitely. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're gonna go about max. Okay, so 269. So that's probably fine. I'm going to go with a we're going to go with adamant. We're going to go with an adamant nature. And I'm going to put the last 4 in HP just because. There's Sock. Okay, next up I've got Mamoswine. Now, Mamoswine I usually use as like my stealth rocker. So, stealth rocks, Earthquake for good stabs. Ice Shard for priority. And then that last move, I'm going to do Ice Beam. Or not Ice Beam, Ice Fang. And I'm going to be giving him a Mago Berry. Citrus Berry, you guys, I catch a lot of you guys using Citrus Berry, and honestly, the 50% berries are just so much better. I don't understand the Citrus Berry. I don't know. It's just not enough HP for me personally. I'm going to go max HP and max, not quite max, I'm going to go about half and then put the rest into physical defense. And then I'm going to be giving him a positive attacking nature. Probably going to go adamant. Yeah, I'm just going to go adamant. On Mamoswine. And last but not least, I've got Rotom. Now, Rotom, I'm going to give him another berry. I'm going to do the Wiki Berry. He's my special attacker, so I'm going to go Will-O-Wisp, just in case I need to shut down one of his physical attackers, you know, Gyarados maybe. Or even, let me take a quick look. I could shut down his Nidoqueen, I could shut down his Miltank. You know, just in case. It's just for a little bit of utility, just in case he tries to pull some shenanigans and try to set up on me a little bit. I'm going to go Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, and then the last move, let's go ahead and do... let's try out Pain Split. I haven't used Pain Split quite yet on him, and it's good, you know, it heals you up a little bit. With Rotom, he has a pretty decent special attack stat, but I just use him for defensively usually. But I have a pretty offensive set, but that's okay. I'm gonna go defensive EVs. I'm gonna go max HP, get him up to about 304, which is pretty good, and I'm gonna go about half on each of his defenses. And I'm running a lot of physical Pokemon, physically defensive Pokemon, so I'm gonna go ahead and make him specially defensive just in case. Minus his attack, because his attack is abysmal anyway, so I'm going to go ahead with the Calm Nature. Boom, and there's my team. I'm going to go, you know, I'm going to go back and make them shiny, nickname them all. You know, Lord Tenebron, the Blastoise, Gojira, the Tyranitar, Jedi Temple, the Bronzong, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the Sock, Dragon Hunter, the Mamoswine, and Boltergeist, the Rotom. That's how I build my teams, guys. It's pretty simple. You know, in Draft League, it is very essential to properly prep for your opponent. Each week should be different. If you're using the same team you know, you're just setting yourself up for failure, honestly. You just can't. Each coach has different Pokemon, you know, different strengths, different weaknesses, different things you need to watch out for. Like, you just got to really pay attention in draft, you know. Preparation is half of the battle in Draft League, so it's very, very important. This is basically how I prep for draft. I'm going against AJ. You know, I hope AJ sees this video. Give him a little bit of an advantage. I'm confident. I'm pumped. You guys, I'm undefeated in my record. Bring it on, AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video. Peace out.